Hello everyone, this is Anusha Saravanan. I am a new mom of a 5-month-old Lotus baby Adriti. It's 2 months since I started posting YouTube videos on Lotus birthing that I did in a hospital. This is the sixth video of the 7-part video series where I'm going to show you how it looks like to birth in India and that to a Lotus birthing in India. I've had a list of points so that I don't miss anything. So this is purely my experience on how I found my doctor and what it took for me to do something unusual. The first thing, like every mom would want, what I wanted was a healthy child. So the moment you say healthy, you want to see all the aspects of what is going to affect the health of my child by a birthing process. So that's when I started understanding how these medical interventions can be avoided, and because of medical interventions, what all could be the probable complications that can affect you. Doctor is not able to believe that a mom can birth naturally. I mean, the obstetrician gynecologists nowadays, they see a pregnant woman as a patient. Let's just understand, she's just pregnant. She's not a patient. And that goes a long way in understanding the difference between and drawing the line between a pregnant woman and a patient. Let us first understand that women's body is capable of pushing this baby out naturally and safely. For the very fact that women body, though the woman doesn't know anything about creation, how the baby is getting formed, how the eyes, how beautifully the lips, the hands, the brain, the neural functions, everything the mom need not know how it is actually done. But nature just creates a baby. So the nature knows how to send this baby out in the most natural and safest way. So in my opinion, medical interventions are something that I should avoid, is what I thought. And in search of it, I did find a lot of medical interventions which can be avoided that I'm going to share with you now.
I have very high regards for medical professionals and gynecologists who have saved so many lives and have decreased the mortality rate due to delivery and pregnancy in women and the childbirth. But for one thing, that not every woman has to go for an emergency. A birth is not natural, that's completely fine. There can be true complications for some women due to some limitations, but majority of the women are pretty healthy, and those who are wanting to have a natural birth, this is the video for you. I empowered myself in understanding what are medical interventions and how better I can avoid them. So here are few things that are very commonly taken and done: scans, medications, IV, enema, induction, pelvic exams or cervical exams, very harsh lights in the birthing room, that is uncomfortable, not giving women enough support to birth in her comfortable position, episiotomies, forceps or instrumental births, C-sections, giving formula milk, taking the baby away from the mother by keeping it in an ICU, and vaccinations. So these are few things which to avoid medical interventions as much as possible. Though I cannot tell you in depth in this video because it will become very long. When your doctor asks for interventions, can you say no to your doctor? What does an ultrasound say? You may be very happy to see your baby through an ultrasound, but ultimately those radiations, ultrasounds go and hit the unborn developing bones and muscles of a child that can cause a lot of harm. And once your scan is done, the doctor gives you something called as a due date. There is only a 4% possibility that your child will be born on a due date, and the number of complications that can arise because of this one single date is huge. That's when induction starts, that's when they start for baby gaining excess weight, and all those stuff is just on that one big date. So every doctor gives prenatal vitamins and medications. It is upon you to decide whether naturally it is available to you to source. Does your body really require it? You are actually loading the baby with a lot of chemical and synthetic vitamins and supplements. Synthetic can never replace what is available in the nature. Membrane sweeps. By doing this, you are breaking the waters and artificially creating a pressure on the child to come out even when the child is not willing and ready. Inducing the labor will cause 1001 problems. I shall give you another video very detailed and in depth about this. Cervical exams. Do you know you can say no to it? By doing a cervical examination, they are only increasing the risk of bacteria in your body. They also increase the likelihood that you may agree for other interventions because you are feeling pressurized. And this is the most happening thing that every woman might undergo. If you are admitted in a hospital, the first thing that they would do is give you an IV. There are chances that for some women it goes and blocks the feeding duct, that the mother is not able to feed colostrum to her newborn baby, and there starts formula milk to your baby. When your baby's stomach is just as small as a cherry, that colostrum will do so much work than any formula milk monitoring. Because of monitoring, a birthing mother is not able to move freely. By knowing the heart rate, putting pressure on the women to deliver faster and progress better. So labor is about a lot of hormones secreting in the body naturally, and darkness is one thing that will help all these secretions to happen in the right way. Dark rooms are much better and harsh lights has to be avoided. You may be laboring for a few hours together, and a mom might be tired. Very ideal to allow to have snacks. Episiotomy, oh my god, how much would I have to say about this? Many women are not even asked a permission to do an episiotomy. It is agreed and accepted as a very common norm during a vaginal birth. A natural tear will heal much faster than an episiotomy. Who is telling the child how to be born? It is nature that the child knows how to push and birth through the mother's birth canal. So unwantedly, when you put a lot of pressure and deliver this baby is going to be in extreme shock, not knowing what to do. It doesn't even get a sense that it is being birthed, but it is in someone else's arms suddenly. This shock is going to last for a lifetime, and that is how you are welcoming the baby into this new world. All along, the baby is going to be crying. Such harsh delivery procedures, we will not even know why the baby is crying, and the support system in our house would say, you have given birth to a baby, that is how it will be, and you are supposed to completely agree with it and go ahead. I would insist that women will have to educate themselves and speak to the doctor about their birth plan. As soon as the baby is born, in the name of procedures, the baby is taken away from the mother. That is the golden hour where the mom and the baby has to be skin to skin. This golden hour is so precious that I did not want my child to be taken away from me. We need not take bath immediately. It's a very thick coating called vernix, much precious to your baby than the costliest of the moisturizers.
So then the only option that you're left with is nothing but a midwifery. What happens when you find midwifery is that it is not so common in India. There are few places where midwifery is there, and I'm going to tell you where they are there in the end of the video. Every woman has something called a support system, right? So that support system has to support for your choices and decisions. If you're pregnant, you have to obviously deliver in a hospital. So they don't believe that women can birth at home safely. Women can birth at home with doulas or midwives. If that facility is available to them, or they can go to a midwifery center where women are taken utmost beautiful care to give natural delivery without any medical interventions unless needed. So many women are able to go to that places. But my question is, okay, let me come to directly to the point. In my case, when I wanted to have a natural birth without any medical interventions and a Lotus birth, the only place that so many people suggested to me was birth village from Kerala. The biggest constraint to me was not even me going in my 36th week and staying in an unknown place and getting birth at Kerala. All that can be fine. But then bringing back the baby when the baby is around 2 weeks or 3 weeks old. How long can you stay in an unknown place? And that was the time when COVID had started. Even before we were able to take these decisions of whether to birth in Kerala or in Chennai or in Bangalore, it was very difficult decision for me because I had to go all the way outside my family's beliefs, because my mom just asked one simple question, could not answer then, but now I have my answers. She said, I have a twin sister. So me and my twin sister were C-sections. My mom herself was a C-section baby. And my twin sister had also delivered a C-section baby. So we are all perfectly fine. What is wrong with us? Why do you want something called natural? Why do you want to go against our beliefs and say that you really want to have a natural birth? Why are you so adamant? because I had listed what all are the medical interventions and what are the causes and the harmful effects of medical interventions on child and the mom, you will now be able to understand why I wanted a natural, uninterventional birth. So, having said that, every woman cannot go to Kerala to do their birthing, and so was my case. So then I started searching with every possible way how to get an uninterventional birth in Chennai. The biggest problem inside Tamil Nadu was you cannot birth at home because around 2,500 women had done unassisted home births, and the government took it up in their hand that anyone who does a home birth will not be issued the birth certificate for the child. So unwanted complications started coming up, and I wanted to do a natural birth, uninterventional as much as possible, with the doctors whom I came to know through my friends and relatives and so much of inquiry and all that stuff. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, there were 9 doctor appointments. But before that, I would have at least spoken to 20 to 25 medical professionals, ranging from Ayurvedic doctor to Siddha doctors to small institutions where birthing is done, like PHCs. So many places that I did try, where they did mention that this was impossible. And then when I asked in my friend circle and the family and relatives, they did suggest few doctors who were completely normal delivery supporting doctors. Surprisingly, I'm going to put that in another video. So you're going to have 2 bonus videos along with this Lotus Birthing series of 7 videos, where one I will be sharing with you the Navarasas, or the 9 doctors whom I met and my experiences from them. And there's going to be a big takeaway if you're watching this video and that video together. In a while, I will upload that video. So when I went to doctors, I found that the doctors have this stubborn mentality in them that they kind of put the women down when you go and question them, can I have an uninterventional birth? They do put you down telling, what do you know? You are a first time mom. You do not know enough. I have seen so many births. It is impractical and all of that stuff. In fact, I went and told to one doctor that, the government, the ministry or the Indian Ministry of Health had given a circular telling there can be delayed cord clamping and the natural delivery of placenta has to be advocated unless there is a complication. When I did tell the doctor was, no one came and told me. And I was like, will someone come and tell you that you should stop doing what you're doing and you should start following what the public welfare and the health ministry is telling you? I don't know. Anyways, so there are a lot of procedures that the doctors are doing for their benefits and their convenience and their easiness. That takes a long way in and a toll on every mother who is birthing. They are not given enough information. They are not getting the consent of the parents who are birthing. And so many unwanted traumatic births are happening in India. This is the fact and the truth of the case. So in this scenario, how did I find someone who would do a lotus birth for me? I went out and searched my heart out if we could find one when I was almost 8 months pregnant. And I went and met this doctor for more than 3 visits. And she introduced me to another pediatrician, and I went and met her twice. In fact, a mom who had come to the pediatrician was asking me, you are pregnant, you don't even have a kid, why are you here? And then I told her that no, we are looking for a lotus birthing and I want to discuss all the possible outcomes with the pediatrician before committing anything. So that was the case with vaccinations as well. I did not want to vaccinate my child when she was with the placenta, so we did discuss everything prior with the doctor. So once everything was coming to a closure, the one key point is you need to have a good birthing plan, a birth plan well discussed with your doctor, and please take a signature of that birth plan from your doctor agreeing that they are consenting, and everything that they do, they will give you a clear explanation, they will give you at least few minutes to think about, and they will have your consent before doing anything to you.
This is from WHO. Every woman to be given respectful maternity care. So an emotional support and a companion of the choice will have to be allowed in the hospital. Talk to your provider. That is one key that I can give you. So if you are looking for a very positive birth experience, then this should be handy to you. Birdie, BIRDDY, birth plan, informed choice, research. Do as much as possible. relaxation techniques, learn how to breathe. I shall also be posting some videos little later. Discuss everything with your birth partner. You will completely be in control when you trust your birth team. 98% of the things which I have shared with you now was already done for my birthing, when I wanted to do my birth and my birth plan, before my birth plan. And 2% you always keep learning, so I always have that buffer.
Okay. Then I had a conversation with two beautiful doulas. One is Ripa Daniel from Bangalore, and she suggested me to Sangeeta Parthishardi in Chennai. So Reba almost spoke to me for 1.5 hours, explaining to me what is happening in and around, birthing nowadays. And she also told me, asked me the reason why I wanted to go for a lotus birth and why I thought uninterventional birth was necessary for me, a clear understanding of what I wanted, and then she suggested me to Sangeeta Pashadi because I was about to birth in Chennai. So Sangeeta is a lovely, 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 knowledgeable, and I would say she exactly gave me the answers. Even today, if I look at what Sangeeta had told me long time back, I think it will hold good for another 10 solid years. So Sangeeta ji spoke to me for almost 1.5 hours the first time, 2 hours the second time, and almost for 45 minutes the third time. And I'm really, really thankful to both these people who have made a change in my life. Both of them did tell me that, Priyanka Idikila from Birth Village would be the right choice for my kind of birth. But since I told you the support system did not agree and it wasn't possible for every woman to go there, and the reason that I'm making this video to you now is you may not have a midwifery in your place. So then what is the option? Like not every woman can go and afford a midwifery, right? So talk to your doctor. That is the only thing which you can do. Now, the more and more women go and start talking to doctors about uninterventions, about not having an IV, not having any episiotomy, not having a cord being clamped very soon, even before the placenta is coming out. When you start talking to doctors and start opening out, probably they will start opening their ears to you. In fact, when I went and asked my doctor, have you done a lotus birthing before? She said nobody had even asked her if lotus birthing was a choice that they had. So, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Doing a lotus birth, you first have to, not just a lotus birth, any kind of birth which is uninterventional and which is safe for you and your baby, you have to go and talk to your care provider or the midwife or the doctor in whichever case. Talk your heart out and tell what you're comfortable with, what you're uncomfortable with, what is your choice of birth, why, if a doctor is telling a certain procedure, why are they doing it, ask for explanation. But here I would like to tell you one thing: please don't expect your obstetrician gynecologist to teach you everything in and out. It is the duty and responsibility of every woman to know what birthing is, how your body works. Take as much classes as possible, take as much knowledge as possible, and then go to your doctor and discuss about the procedures or what can be avoided or what can be included in your birth plan. The hospital which I did the birthing with, if you're looking for birthing in Bangalore, you already have the midwifery, but if you still want doula services, I can put you through Reba Daniel. So these two lovely people are really, really an asset for you to have next to you during birthing. If you have any questions, please put in the description box below and I will try to answer that in an FAQ video, which will also be another bonus video for you.
Like I have mentioned enough number of times in the video, number one choice, Kerala is Birth Village, and Priyanka Idikila is the founder. And Dr. Vijaya Krishnan, who is running the Sanctum in Hyderabad, she also takes high risk pregnancy for natural birthing. The third place that I found was Dr. Veda from Daima's Natural Birthing Center. She's in Mumbai. And Dr. Sheetal Sabarwal from Tulips Women Healthcare Center, Mumbai. Fifth one is Bangalore, found by Meghna and Sneha, and the midwife there is Jennifer Hag from Birth Home. So these are the few places which I found in South India because I was searching for it.
Happy birthday. Bye bye.